Are you tired of constantly falling off the map, not knowing if the next jump could kill you?
Hey guys, you want to see something very scary? Look, watch me.
Are you tired of your friends falling off the map because they're dumb as well?
Oh fuck.
I literally was just saying
that.
for the last
There's no way that just happened.
Oh god, oh I fucked it,
Are you tired of your teammates falling off the map because they've got a small brain?
Oh yeah.
I'm dead, I fell off the map,
Oh, you're actually shit.
Hi.
Are you tired of your friends throwing you off the map because you don't know the map?
I can't fucking believe you did that!
Are you tired of trying to get revenge on your friends because they threw you off the map and now you want to throw them off the map to even the score?
This is my stop.
Are you tired of making bad rotations because you don't know the area well enough?
Oh, they all fell, two of them fell.
Oh my god! That actually just happened, bro. I can't believe. Let's go to a YouTube video. That's so funny. And are you tired of being thrown off the map by other enemy players because you're just an idiot and didn't realize that it was going to kill you? And even though they're dead, their character still makes fun of you?
Oh no! Take that heart, darling.
Are you just tired of being tired? Yes? Well good, because this video is for you. With that kinda long but hopefully somewhat funny intro, let's get into today's video, and it's all about Apex Legends Season 7 map Olympus, and some of the best rotations you can take and some of the plays you can make in the buildings on this map. Also, thank you very much for this intro suggestion. It's just not for me. When I said it, it sounded kinda dumb, but I thought I'd leave it up here so people could see it. If you guys have a better intro suggestion, please comment it down in the comment section below. With this new map Olympus, they also added Tridents, and these Tridents are amazing for rotation. Some Tridents are better than others though, just based on where they are spawned, and they can get you from one hot zone area to another to get a high kill game, or from a hot zone area to somewhere you need to loot. I'm going to run down some of the best Trident spots so you can get those good rotations and some high kill games. I'm going to start off with talking about the Trident in Bonza Plaza, and you get a lot of good rotations from here. If the flight path is going straight over and straight north, you get teams all around. Solar Array, Hammond Labs and Hydroponics are really popular places, and if you take the Trident from Bonza Plaza to any of these spots, you will find another team to fight and get more kills. The next Trident I'm going to talk about is the Trident at Hydroponics, and the rotations using the Trident here are really simple. You can either go towards estates where there's a lot of fights at estates, it's constantly busy, or if you maybe saw more people landing Bonza Plaza, you can take the Trident from the right all the way over to Bonza Plaza. It'll get you there really fast using the Trident. Next Trident up is Oasis, and there's one really good rotation from here, and that's directly to estates. There's two other ways you can go. You can either go to Turbine for maybe more loot or Carrier for more loot, but if you're going for those higher kill games, I would really recommend estates. Unless you maybe saw more people flying other directions, but in my games everyone goes estates, like they just love it there. Another good Trident to take is the one at Docks, and honestly landing here you might not get a lot of high kills because Docks itself isn't very popular and the areas around it aren't very popular. So if you're someone that likes to loot and take their time in a game, Docks is for you, and the Trident here can help you get loot faster, so when you come up against a team you're very well equipped. But some good rotations are directly to Carrier or Power Grid. You might find teams here, but in my opinion it's just very unlikely. And if you want to go straight to the center of the map, Turbine is right there. Last up is the Trident at Rift, and Rift itself is a very popular place. So hopefully once you and your squad rack up some good squad kills here, you can rotate fast to either Gardens, Energy Depot or Power Grid. In my opinion the best place to go is Gardens from here. There's literally a ramp that if you boost yourself at the very end of it, you will go straight into Gardens and get straight into the action. Another good place is Energy Depot. You can find quite a lot of squads here, and if you need more loot maybe you can go Power Grid. Really, whatever suits you. Look at where the squads are landing and you will know where to go. Another way you can rotate on this new map is using jump towers and the new phase runner. On your screen right now I have marked out some of the jump towers that you can find in the game. The red ones in my opinion are some of the best ones you can use. The blue ones are okay, but the red ones are top tier. They get you from where you are on the jump tower to a fight fast. Let's start at Elysium, the bottom left of the map. There's a jump tower there that can take you all the way to the left hand side of Phase Runner. From that Phase Runner, you can either go to the center of the map or you can run to estates. Either way, you'll probably find a fight. Another good jump tower you can take is the one at Solar Array. You can fly to the intersection between both Wraith portals, or you can fly towards Hammond Labs. You can even fly to the bottom of the zipline towards the high ground area. Another useful jump tower is the one at Gardens. You can use this tower to get to the intersection Wraith portals in the middle of the map. I know I've not gone over all the jump towers in this diagram, but I've gone over the ones that I think are most useful for you getting to the next fight. All the other balloons are still good, even the blue ones, it's just they're all pretty self-explanatory. You just fly towards the next fight. It's just the three that I said are the easiest and quickest rotations you can get to get some more kills. Now that you know how to rotate around Olympus using the new tridents and some of the balloons that are throughout the map, I'm going to show you the different style of buildings so you can play them well. I will admit that Olympus does not have the same style of buildings that World's Edge does that you can 1v3 in. There's no zipline buildings where you can outplay your enemy, but there is some things you can do to give you that slight edge in fighting your enemies. Around Olympus, there's a few different styles of buildings, but in every single building there's a type of window and you need to use these windows to your advantage. There's windows that are just glass, there's windows that are just holes in the wall, and there's windows that have bars. You need to use these. I'm going to start with talking about the barred windows. These windows can be super helpful in a fight. Typically you find a lot of these in the circular buildings when people are holding the lower ground, and if they're doing that, it's a circle room. There's like one middle pipe in the middle of the room that they can hide behind, but if they're not behind there, you can fry them, you can absolutely destroy them, and they will not be expecting it. They're looking at the doors or they're looking at the big window. These barred windows here and these circular buildings are huge. Trust me, they'll help you in a fight. If you're not as confident about your aim, you can always throw a grenade into one side of the room, forcing the enemy to the other side. This allows you to make some sort of play into the building, putting more pressure on the enemy. Now let's talk about the window that is just a big hole in the wall, and these windows can be really useful again in a fight. Because it's a big window, you have a big clear view of what's in the room, and typically when people are in these circular buildings, they're holding the doors if they're worried about a push. And if they're holding the doors, they'll be looking towards the doors, allowing you to get an easy beam in the back and allowing you to free ape a team. Don't be so focused on doors when this window is another easy way to get into the building. The last window, which is just glass, is a bit weird because, you obviously can't output any damage from it, but you can get a lot of information from it. So use this information in your fight because you know what you're coming up against, you know where they are. You can maybe see what guns they have in their hand, so you know maybe it's a mastiff, so you don't want to peek a door when they have a mastiff in their hand, it'd be dumb. Or maybe you can see them healing and they flash purple armor and you're like, oh my gosh, yeah, no, I don't want to fight that. Use this information to your advantage. Maybe it's not a fight you want to take. Or maybe you see that they're putting on health heals and they're really, really weak. This is maybe your time to fight. Use the window to your advantage. Don't just run in there. Look through the window and see what you can see before you make a dumb play. Now that we're done talking about windows, I'm going to move on to the next thing, which is building types. And honestly, I should have gone over this first, it's just my brain doesn't work like that, but oh well, here we go. In Olympus, you will see 4 different types of buildings. You have circular buildings, which have 2 doors and 2 different window types. You have cube buildings, which have a door and a balcony. You have these complicated buildings, which you see on the screen right now. I don't really know how to describe them, just buildings with multiple different doors and multiple different angles. And then there's unique buildings, which you will only see in one part of the map, like a landing location, for example. You might be wondering why would you care about what kind of buildings there are in Olympus, but some of these buildings are really bad to fight in and some of these buildings are really good to fight in. And if you can pick your fights, I would recommend going to some different areas to fight your enemy. I'm going to start off by talking about the areas I have marked purple. And these areas are unique to themselves, there's no other place like it. So you can't really say these spots are bad to fight in because they're all unique to themselves. I'm going to go through some of these spots later in the video, but right now I'm going to talk about the other zones. I'm going to start off by talking about the areas I've marked red, and these areas are the circular buildings, and I've kind of gone over this already. I've said use the windows to your advantage, especially the barred windows. Try and get a beam through the windows and you will win your fight, I promise. Other than that, these circle buildings are pretty bad. If you're trying to hold the roof, they can climb up from any direction, and if you're inside, there's 4 different ways they can shoot you. I'm not saying it's impossible to win your fights in these circle buildings, it's just not the easiest building to play as a solo or as a team. There's way too many different angles if you're inside, and if you're outside there's so many different ways you can get shot from as well, just by other teams. I'm going to move on to the yellow zone, which is the rectangle style buildings, and these buildings are a lot better to fight in, especially the rectangle buildings that have buildings stacked upon each other. For example, these stacked up rectangles, you have 3 of them in estates, and all over gardens you have these stacked rectangle buildings. You can also find these buildings elsewhere on the map, but estates and gardens is the main point of interest here. I've landed gardens and estates quite a lot this season already. It's probably my 2 favourite drops. Mainly just because I like these tall buildings because I think they're fun to fight in. And since I've landed there, I've learned a few different things you can do whilst trying to play these buildings. One of the first things you can do is if an enemy has the roof above you, you can climb from the inside out onto the roof. To do this climb up, you start the climb up from the inside of the building and then move your character's body to the outside, and then you'll climb up onto the top. Doing this climb up means you'll climb up without being shot at by your enemy on the roof. Typically they'll be looking at the 2 side walls, not where you're climbing up from, so you'll probably get a free beam on your enemy because they won't be looking the right direction. Another tip I have is jumping from the roof of the building onto the balcony. Obviously don't give up your height for free, only do this when you know the enemy is weak and you're going for the push, or when you're pushing as a team. This one itself is quite easy to do, you just jump off the roof and sway your body into the balcony. When doing this though, make sure the enemy is either inside the building, not on the balcony, because if you land on them, they'll have the advantage on you because you've just landed and you're stunned and you won't be centered on them. Or make sure they're weak so you're going in for an easy kill. Don't do it on a full 3-man team jumping on a balcony when they're already there, or you will die. Another tip about these buildings is some of the balconies that are higher up you can actually climb onto, but some of them you can't. This is something you might want to be aware of when you're being pushed and you're holding these balconies, or if you're trying to push a team, you might be able to get a free climb up. The way to know if you can climb up or not is all to do with the pillar that's holding the balcony up. If it's a square you can climb up, but if it's cylinder you cannot. And next up is the complex buildings, which is marked in the green zone. And these buildings in my opinion are some of the best buildings to fight in, just because they're more complex and you can kind of dupe your enemies and where you're going and play different doors, because there's a lot of doors and different windows, and there's just a lot of different angles you can play in these buildings. Tip number 1 for these buildings is windows again, and these are barred windows in these buildings. They're much thinner bars so you get an easy shot through the window, but you still don't get aim assist, so it's going to be slightly difficult. Although if you want to shoot through some of these windows, you actually need to be on some high ground. Typically that just means being on another building roof and being equal level to the window. Another tip to note is a lot of these doors in these green areas have an overhang above the door. This will stop you from climbing up. If you're trying to play the outside of a building and you're trying to climb up from the door, you will get stopped. You will not climb to the roof. You need to climb up and around it. My last kind of tip for this green zone is that it's like a cap city building. You can play these buildings pretty well. You can be aggressive and defensive in these green zones. It is the best place to 1v3, I promise. If I'm editing this well and you see clips of me fighting teams, which I probably haven't, I'm ass at editing and this video is taking me absolutely ages to make. But it is what it is. If you can see the clips on your screen where I'm fighting people, you can see that I'm just watching different angles because I know where they're going to push from and I know where they can and can't be. And I know where I can run to be safe, and I know where I can go to fight. It's just knowing the building, and that takes time. But I promise these buildings are really good once you get to know them. Last up is the purple zone, and all these areas are unique to themselves. I can't give you a general tip for all these areas because they're all specific to themselves. I can't tell you how to play Grow Towers and then you could be like, oh my god, I can play that at Oasis. It's just not going to work like that. If you guys would like me to do a breakdown video on certain areas and certain things you can do in those areas, I'd happily do that. Even if it's a unique zone or a general zone, I'll happily do it no matter what. Obviously, I can't go through all these areas in details or this video would be an hour long and I can't be bothered editing that. This video is taking me ages to make and it's not that long. But if you guys would like a detailed video on how to play certain areas in the map like Oasis or Grow Towers or Bonza Plaza, I'd happily do that. Just let me know in the comment section below. And that's the video, guys. Thank you very much for watching. I just want to apologise for some things. At the start of making this video, I was really hyped and I had a lot of good ideas, and if I'm being honest, I haven't even put all the ideas in because my passion for this video kind of died halfway through it. I think you can hear it in my voice. I'm doing my best to edit it well. It's just trying to make this video has taken such a long time, and just all my effort put into it just feels like it's not turned out to be the best thing, and I'm kind of disappointed with it. One of the reasons why it took so long to make is because I started streaming on Twitch, and within 7 days I got affiliate, which is just mind-blowing. I didn't think I'd do that. So thank you guys very much if you have followed me down on Twitch and started watching me play. I'm really grateful, guys. I don't know how to express it. I'm just shocked. And last thing, at the very beginning of this video, I made fun of my friend Koala for falling off the map and punching us off the map and whatnot. I do love him, and I have this little clip that I don't think I'll use anywhere else, and I kind of want to get rid of it just for space, and it's really funny. So here it is. This is my outro. This is the last clip. The video's about to be over. Thank you guys very much for watching. I ran away. I no longer need assistance.
I'm using a phoenix kit.
1 second, we got this.
I knocked when I beamed another.
Go back, go back, go back, go back, go back.
Why do you have to go back?
Nice.
No way! Oh my god, I was a second off. Why did this Octane come down? No, I'm getting thirsty, bro. There's nothing you can do. He's doing a finisher on me. He's doing a finisher on me. You can maybe save me, Koala. You can maybe save me, please. There's no way. My hero. My hero.
It should come
Okay,
tap him,
Bendis.
come tap